we were very lucky to be able to partner with the Nature Conservancy on this trip. And I'm going to let Lisa tell you about their arrangement with this island and what we're going to be in for today.
A little bit of the Nature Conservancy is that we've been around for a little over 60 years. We're the largest conservation group. Historically, we've been a land trust. So to date, we protected over 119 million acres. We worked to find solutions to solve the world's most critical environmental issues. So Santa Cruz Island came to us in the late 70s. We were going to go to a completely private part of the island, which is owned by the Conservancy. There's no access to the public. And we've worked over the last decade to really restore it to kind of what LA used to look like 100 years ago. So you'll kind of get that feel. When we took it over, we got rid of the sheep, the cattle, the beef, and the horses and the pigs, and we restored the island fox back from the brink of extinction.
What folks are concerned about at this point in time with climate change is if we get big melts of the glaciers off the Greenland ice cap and off of Antarctica, we could see substantial sea level rise. We know that during the ice ages, just 16,000 years ago, at the height of the most recent ice age, sea level was probably nearly 300 feet lower than it is today. Way, way lower. So the coasts weren't really where they are now. They were quite a bit further out to sea. And this island was connected to Santa Rosa Island. There's a 5-mile gap now. So really, really different.
Fog's a big deal.
Very different.
It's a whole different climate when you get down the Central Valley this way and you drop in over the west end of the island. All these slopes like this, they're covered with pine trees, bishop pines. So you got a conifer forest covering this whole slope.
Wind is a little different story in that wind in some ways has a lesser impact as single tower, single tower, single tower. But when you think of the network, if you've seen wind farms, there's usually a whole network of roads between each of those towers. So then the land's all cut up. And those roads often are great places for weeds to come in. Fire often moves in along the weedy patches. Tortoises get run over on those roads. So they're not so benign as you might first think. There's no free lunches. That's kind of the deal. The other thing that's frustrating for everybody, I think, is that where there's a win-win for solar, we can find places that are a great solar resource and not valuable for conservation or for cultural uses. Wind tends to be best up along the ridgelines, which is the best habitat or the most used habitat for a lot of birds and bats.
Hi, my name is Mark Warzeka, and I'm primarily a playwright and comedy writer and satirist. And my writing partner Andy Comm and I are working on a play right now about the set in the future when Hillary Clinton is president and she has to deal with a climate change crisis. So this trip was really fantastic to sort of learn some more about climate change, especially from some of the experts who were traveling around with us and talking to us about the island and how climate change can affect this area and of course affect the rest of the world.
We might have about 5 humpback whales or more.